What is going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me once again on the Roaming Prepper channel for the situation report. For those of you new to the channel, thank you for joining me. I've had a lot of new subscribers lately, and I'm encouraged by that. I appreciate all your positive comments and thoughts, even your critiques, because I do get those as well. I'm not above hearing someone who disagrees with me, just for the record. Now, if you're comment is, hey man, I disagree for the following reasons, we can have a conversation. It might educate you, it might educate me, it might educate everyone else. When you start the conversation with a bunch of obscenities, that I'm just going to kick you off the platform. You lose validity there. So just to all the new folks, you want to disagree, absolutely cool. You have a different point of view, absolutely cool. If you have more information than I do, absolutely cool. Please share, because everyone will benefit from that. But in any case, no further ado. The situation report was something I did once a week, usually on Saturday mornings. My schedules have changed, and ergo, Saturday mornings not so practical for me anymore. So I'm doing them on Monday afternoons. And the report is a compilation of released information from state, federal, local, corporate, and public media. So it's multiple sources that are put together in report forms that I get my hands on because of part of my job. And again, it's all public release, so it's not like I'm telling super secret things. I will, when they give me the source, I will try to share it with you. I'm not going to say, well, my sources say secret squirrel shit. No, I don't do this secret squirrel shit. If I can tell you, I'll tell you. If I hear it, from, I have family members who work for different companies, agencies, organizations, branches of the military. If I can't tell you something, I'm just going to really sanitize it and say, I really can't talk about where I got it. 90% of the time, that's not the case with me. I can pretty much tell you roughly where you can find it, and then I'll leave it to all of you to do your research. So with that intro, for those new, it goes by regions of the world, alphabetical order, and then within each region, it goes by country or province, if you will, in alphabetical order. It's basically from the biggest geographical area to the smallest as possible. So with no further ado, Africa, I've been talking about the Congo, which is very resource rich. UN rights body holds urgent session on violence in Eastern Congo as Rwanda-backed rebels advance. The UN's top human rights body was holding an urgent session on Friday on spiraling violence in Eastern Congo, where Rwanda-backed rebels recently captured a key city. Some 3,000 people have been killed and nearly as many injured since late January. So this has been a lot of bloodshed very quickly. There's rumors that some people speculate it's jihadi. Some say it's actually being funded by international corporations or another country that has interest in the resources. I don't know. This is from the Associated Press, so I encourage you to go look it up if that part of the world is of interest to you. Another one from the Congo. Rwanda now, there's a response. Rwanda said it on Friday has proof of intended major attacks by the Democratic Republic of Congo and denied it was fomenting conflict inside the neighbor's border. So now Rwanda is accusing the Congo of trying to organize an internal attack, some kind of terroristic attack, and the Congo's saying no. So it's been a little while since these two went at it. They've been at relative peace other than some insurgents who ran amok by themselves. So, but there's a lot of resources there, a lot of rare earth minerals. I don't know about the oil and gas. I know in the Congo it's kind of limited. I don't know about Rwanda, but the diamonds, gold, silver, oil and gas, lithium, there's some other stuff in there. So these are very mineral rich parts of the world. Somalia. Puntland offensive deals blow to Islamic State in Somalia. Forces from Somalia's semi-autonomous Puntland region have captured swaths of territory from Islamic State during a weeks-long offensive they hope will draw increased international support. I'm pretty confident the NATO powers are helping the Puntland offensive because they're moving really quick And it kind of makes you wonder, because Islamic State is not friends with the Taliban, and we left the Taliban a lot of equipment. And I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of that equipment, especially the smaller man-portable stuff, magically wound up in Somalia. Remember Iran-Contra? You take from this guy, thank you, and you take that money and put it there. And technically, the U.S. never touched it. Anyway, pure speculation on my part. Moving on. Leaving Africa, now going... Oh, and that last one, both last two were from Yahoo News. Okay, East Asia Pacific, Reuters News. Australia passes tough hate crime laws with mandatory jail time for Nazi salutes. Australia passed an anti-hate crime law on Thursday, including mandatory minimum sentences for terror offensive and displaying hate symbols in a bid to tackle a recent surge in anti-Semitism. This has been really hard for the for people to respond to, because they have, you know, Islamic people, and then they have Islamic extremists, then they have Jewish people and Jewish extremists, and then now you have Nazis who are their whole own thing, and now they're all fighting with each other. So they're passing laws trying to stop this internal squabbling. I'm sure Russia and China are absolutely thrilled by this, because it's not in their country, because they would just shoot you. In any case, yeah, Australia having some problems with anti-Semitic attacks. And we saw that here with the college kids just before the elections who were being attacked in American campuses. They were being blocked because they were Jewish or supported Israel. So we'll see how that pans out. But and then here, South Korea. South Korea orders airports to install bird detection cameras after airplane crash. I didn't know about this one. This is from Al Jazeera. South Korean government has ordered all its airports to install bird detection cameras and radars in response to the country's worst ever aviation disaster in December. What the hell? For real, I didn't even know this happened. This happened in December. Are they sure it was a bird? Was it a Black Hawk? Was it a drone? Was it a chupacabra? Was it a Nazi? I mean, I don't know. I'm being facetious, but what the hell with all the airplane crashes? I mean, that's a shit ton. And it's not like, oh, you know, Pango had an airplane crash. You know, Pango doesn't have running water or electricity. Of course they crash their airplanes. This is South Korea. Washington, D.C. Like, what the hell's going on? Anyway, and hence that's why that phrase, WTF is going on, was trending on X. That one, the first one was from Reuters, second one from Al Jazeera. Europe, moving on to the European region. Belgium, one dead and fourth shooting linked to gang violence in Brussels this week. A shooting incident in Brussels, a fourth in the Belgian capital this week, killed one person, authorities told local media, with a spike in violence linked to rival drug gangs. What they don't say here, which you can do your own research on, because I could be wrong, but my understanding, what I'm seeing, is they imported these people, these gangs. They had local gangs and mafia anyway, between the Schengen zone, which is basically where Eastern and Western Europeans could go back and forth. So now they got Albanian, Ukrainian, and Russian mobsters. But then they brought people from the Middle East and North Africa. So now they have Somali, Syrian, etc. groups, and all of them are now fighting each other. So they've created their own shit show. Although, you know what? You do that on purpose. You create a bunch of crime. That justifies really big law enforcement budgets. So almost makes you wonder if they're doing that on purpose to be able to funnel more money to the federal government. Anyway, moving on again before I get myself run off of YouTube. First, Ireland. Oh, that was from Euronews, by the way. Ireland, first case of newer monkeypox variant detected in Ireland. This is from British Broadcasting, BBC. First case of a newer, more spreadable variant of Mpox has been detected in the Republic of Ireland, according to the Health Service executive. Remember, the monkeypox is a fluid-based, so blood, urine, sexual contact, saliva, also spittle. So this is one of those diseases where having a mask on the sick person makes sense, because that keeps the, you know, whatever the spittle, the saliva that comes out of the mouth during talking and whatnot, close to the person. This is a more larger molecule disease, you know, surface disease, as opposed to like the Rona, which is a nanoparticle, which is going to go through most masks unless you're wearing an N95. So again, there was so much emphasis on the Rona and the masks and the as the angry prepper calls them, the arm ticket or the arm bingo or whatever you want to call it, that the proper use of different types of masks, which is essential for prepping, got overlooked because everyone's now like rolling their eyes going, oh, you said the word mask. And in reality, they have a place in preps, but you have to understand how and when to use them. In this case, for this specific disease, larger particles, body fluids. So if someone's coughing, they have TB and they cough up blood, that blood can also carry monkeypox. If they are sick and they just have like baba, like drool or whatever coming from their mouth when they speak or eat, also, now obviously you can't eat with a mask on, although people apparently tried during the Rona. So yeah, this is not something to be freaked out about. It is not an airborne disease. It has never been an airborne disease, but it's a nasty disease. It is treatable, but you will not be happy. It is like the most unpleasant thing. Somebody described it, a friend of mine who does travel to these parts of the world, described it as, what did he say? Dysentery from hell, mixed with chickenpox from hell. Yeah, so that was really horrifying. But anyway, that's BBC. Go do your own research. But yes, Kosovo. Parliamentary election in Kosovo, what you need to know. This is from DW. With tensions regularly flaring up between the majority Kosovo Albanian population, the ethnic Serb minority. This has been going on for centuries now. Countries' relations with neighboring Serbia are a little bit edgy. Right now, they're not predicting violence. They are saying if you have to travel into either country, let the embassy know, let State Department know who you are, when you're going to be there, and when you plan to leave. In the event there's an emergency, you can actually go to state.gov, give them your cell phone numbers or the hotel you're staying at, and they can reach out to this hotel. And most of the better hotels will send a bellhop or doorman up to your room, knock on the door of security and say, hey, I received a notification from your embassy that there's some danger and you should remain in the hotel. So again, if you're staying at the janky ass, European version of, the Roach Motel, you're probably not going to get that kind of service. So again, depends how you're traveling. I can suddenly become Cuban if I need to. I can become Argentinian if I need to. I can change my accent as needed. And I speak multiple languages. But if you're in those countries, remember, plan ahead, plan contingencies, because you don't want to be in a country you don't speak the language in, and the government falls apart. That would suck, and it would be very bad. Anyway, moving on, Middle East, North Africa, Morocco. Morocco foils 78,685 migrant attempts to reach Europe in 2024. Damn. This is from Arab News. Morocco stopped 78,685 migrants from illegally crossing into the EU during 2024, up 4.6% from a year earlier. Those are the ones they know about. Now, the big difference there is to go from Morocco and Algeria across to Spain, Italy, and Italy's been the main target because the Spanish have been chasing them out and arresting them or fighting with them. Italy and France have been taking the brunt of it. You have to go across the Mediterranean in a boat, as opposed to here where you can swim across a river, and even there people drown and die all the time. So that's the ones they know of. No telling how many gotaways they had. So we'll see. Moving on also, and that was Arab News. Also Arab News, the next news. Yemen, Al-Qaeda in Yemen says senior official was killed in a blast. A senior member of Al-Qaeda in Yemen has been killed in a bomb blast, according to a statement. So clearly he did not have a good day. And they make no mention if the Israelis did anything, but the Yemenis, the Houthis in Yemen have been firing drones and rockets, says the Israelis. So it's very possible the Israelis are like, I don't like that guy, delete, and there's no more militant. Anyway, Pakistan, militant attack on a police post in Restiv, northwestern Pakistan, leaves 3 officers dead. Pakistan scares the hell out of me because they have a handful of nukes, and they're not exactly the most stable country, and they're not exactly the friendliest country to us or to the Chinese or Russians. It's just none of the big countries really have an understanding of Pakistan. A group of militants armed with Kalashnikovs attacked a police post in northwestern Pakistan before dawn, killing 3 officers. So again, not a vacation hotspot. Be careful there. Western Hemisphere, we're going to wrap it up with the Western part of the world. Brazil, crime and religion in Brazil. The expansion of Rio's pure third command. In a powerful illustration of how religion mixes with crime, Brazilian police scaled a water tank in a Rio de Janeiro favela and pulled down a gang flag bearing the Star of David that was raised by one of the city's most powerful crime gangs. They are becoming like fundamentalist Christian cartel. And that what they're doing is to control, I don't know what the logic is, but they believe they're protected, and that's just wild. Brazil has been fighting issues in the favelas for a long time. Favelas are kind of like, calling them a ghetto or calling them the barrio does them no good. You have to Google what a favela is. It looks like a trailer park apartment nightmare. Look it up. It's spelled F-A-V-E-L-A, favela. Look it up. You educate yourself. That's from Reuters. From Inside Crime. From Reuters News, 2 dead as small plane crashes into a bus on a busy Sao Paulo Avenue, also in Brazil. The plane had a technical difficulty and crashed into a bus. Could you imagine being in the bus? You're like trying to get to work and a freaking plane lands on you? Like, what the hell? How do you anyway, moving on. Ecuador. Ecuadorian voters, many of them crime victims, head to the polls for presidential election. Personal and collective losses will be a determining factor Sunday when Ecuadorians head to the ballot box to decide if a third president in 4 years can turn Ecuador around. Or if the incumbent, Daniel Noboa, deserves more time in office. They've been struggling with crime quite a bit. Haiti, a new contingent of Kenyan police joins UN-backed mission to fight gangs in Haiti. A 4th contingent of Kenyan police arrived Thursday in Haiti to help repel violent gangs as officials brush off concerns over a halt of some U.S. funding to the U.S.-backed mission, UN-backed mission, Haiti wound up with a bunch of polluted water because a bunch of UN peacekeepers from, I forgot where the hell it was, Myanmar, Thailand, I don't remember, it was a small country. They went and they basically contaminated the water supply with sewage because they were not trained in field hygiene and field waste management. And then they created an entire dysentery and cholera outbreak in Haiti. And then 2 years later, just as that was dying down, the hurricanes came through and destroyed the damn island again. And then they had more cholera. So not a vacation hotspot there either. In Panama, Panama's president denies making a deal with that U.S. warships can transit the canal for free. All right, whatever. We give them a bunch of money, so technically we're paying for it no matter what. That's it. Kind of a quiet week for the, let me see if there's any other neat news. And that was Associated Press, those last 3 actually. No analysis on Africa. Africa screwed up. Germany. Oh, Munich Security Conference. No. Anti-corruption, global forecast, blah, blah, blah. Recent shooting. Oh, so a little note, they're having some kind of conference call with the higher-ups. Tamaulipas has experienced numerous shootouts between security forces and armed groups recently. That's on the Texas-Mexico border, primarily involving factions of the Gulf Cartel, including violent clashes, roadblocks, kidnappings, firefights, and the use of IEDs. Travel there at your own risk. I think that's it, folks. Yeah, everything else is just like, attend this speech and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. Ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this situation report. Went a little long. Sorry about that. Folks, the reason I share this is because whether you think you have to travel or not, someone in your circle, someone you know has to go somewhere for some reason, whether they're going across the town, across the state, across the country, or across the world. There are people who need to travel for business and work. There are a lot of roles and jobs that just require people to show up in different places, and it keeps the world running that we know of, whether it's energy or finance or whatever the hell it is. understanding how things come apart in other countries informs us as to what could potentially happen in the Canada, US, Mexico, Argentina realm, which is where most of my followers are from. A lot of you from the UK follow me as well. And it gives you context as to, wow, that happened there. How would I react? And this is the question you should always be asking when you listen to a situation report that I put out. How would I react if that happened here? Because you may realize, wow, I don't have a good flashlight in my carry-on when I go on a plane, which has been a running joke with myself and the Four Horsemen, but it's a valid point too. Do you have a flashlight? Do you want to be in an airport when the lights go out? No, of course not. There are 4,000 strangers there. Who the hell wants to do that? Unless the bar's working, in which case, no, I still want the flashlight because I have to find the beer. Anyway, you want to be ready for that kind of stuff. But God forbid, you're in a town, a city, another country, and things come apart. What's your plan? How would you react? Could you prepare in advance for that trip? So anyway, folks, that's some food for thought there. You guys be good, be safe, God bless. My schedule the next couple of weeks is going to be absolute garbage, probably for the next month. I'm going to be in the airports again, from what it sounds like. So you may see some random live streams from airports, train stations, whatever the hell else I'm in. I might be drunk at a hotel doing one, who knows? Anyway, and that's a good reason to get into craft beers when you're on the road that much. Sometimes you just need a drink. Anyway, you guys be good, be safe, God bless, and prep your trips. Don't panic. Think, what would I do? And that should inform a lot of how you act going forward. I'll see you on the next video. You guys take care.